of the Appen platform and how you can run an A/B model evaluation against live model responses. Once you're in the Appen platform, you want to click into our LLM templates. These are starting points for various parts of the LLM journey, depending on where you are. Our first step is going to be setting up the models that we want to use. In this case, I already have a lot of models configured, and if you don't, you can go ahead and add a model, choose an existing template, or define your own. In this case, using the ChatGPT template, you can simply add in your OpenAI API key and then go ahead and push save. I already have some of these configured, so for this demo, we're going to use this ChatGPT Model 121, as well as our Anthropic Claude 2.1, so in this case, Model 41. So I'm going to look for a template for A/B evaluation against live model responses, and you can see here we have one available. And if you click onto this box, you'll get to see a preview of what this task looks like. So in this case, we have a set of instructions along with our AI chat feedback interface. I'm going to go ahead and use this template. We're going to give it a name. In this case, we'll call it Demo A/B Evaluation on Live Model Responses. And let's go ahead and use the sample data here. The sample data here in this case is just a list of IDs, I believe 1 through 20 or so, as well as some pre-seeded prompts that we want to use for evaluation. So here we go. We can see that we have 4 units added to this project, and we can see here we're on our kind of canvas for this project. And if we go back to the data set, we can go ahead and see our source data that was uploaded. Again, in this case, that's just a list of pre-seeded prompts because I want to use a consistent set of prompts to test my models as I make changes. So in this case, these are going to be our benchmarking prompts for this effort. You could, of course, customize and upload however many prompts that you want that's specific to the model that you're trying to build. So we'll go ahead and go to this jobs, and what we're going to look at next is any kind of customization that I may want to do here. In this case, I want to ensure that I have my 2 models enabled on this task. I want to pick some internal SMEs that I want to launch this task to, and then we'll go ahead and launch it. So I'll click into this task here. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to verify that my source data, which in this case is the 2 models that I want to use in this example, are set up. If you don't know what the IDs that you want are, you can jump into this Manage Language Models. In this case, I'm going to click OK. I'm going to select the 2 models that I want to use and enable for this while taking note of the IDs. So again, just like we said, we're going to use Model 121. And then let's go ahead and use this Claude model here, model 99. So we'll enable both of those, so 99 and 121, and then we'll go back to our design and update those right here. So 99, 121. These could also be entered as part of the data set and then pulled in without having to define them here. So if we look at some of these attributes, we can see here that we're going to use that prompt that was uploaded as the seed to this tool. We'll see what that looks like in a minute. I'm also going to disable the ability to continue to have a conversation. I want to limit this to a single turn for initial A/B evaluation. We can also keep enhanced equals false. This essentially allows a user to select an additional preference rating for the given A/B evaluation. Right now, we're just going to keep it simple and say A or B. Once I have this set up, I can quickly preview this just to make sure it's working the way that I expect. Again, in this case, we're going to see the set of instructions, and then we're going to see the tool down below here with my pre-seeded prompt. We can go ahead and push send. This will go out to these 2 live model endpoints. They will return 2 answers because we have 2 models configured. However, you can enable a single model or more than 2 models if you wanted to do a comparison across additional models as well. And then here we can see I have my model responses to this particular prompt. I will review them and then I will select which one I think is better. And again, it's a simple just, A/B evaluation, so I'm just selecting those. We also don't communicate to the end user which response is coming from which model. This helps reduce, bias and selection preference just based off of, past experiences. So once I can confirm that this is all good, I can go ahead and continue the rest of the setup process. So in this case, I actually want to assign this to some of my internal SMEs. So I'm going to go ahead and click Assign Contributors. If you don't have any contributors defined and you can see your existing project resources under this all contributors, you can actually go ahead and set that up either as part of this process or before you even got to this stage. So over here on the left, we'll have this project resources button. And if I go ahead and click that, we'll see here are my kind of individual contributors. And then for each of them, I can create groups that I can then target. So in this case, we're going to use this domain experts demo, which consists of 2 of my contributors. However, if I wanted to add additional contributors, I can go ahead and add them and either enter them manually up or bulk upload them with just an email and a name. And then those will become available contributors that I can then target to. And again, once you're in the actual task level itself, you can target individual contributors. So I could select multiple people here, or I can actually leverage one of the existing groups that I may have defined ahead of time. So here I'm going to go ahead and click Domain Experts Demo and then click Assign. From there, now this is going to be targeted to these particular contributors. And once we launch this task, it'll actually send an email notification to these individuals, letting them know that there's work available to them. So if we go ahead and we return back to settings and just verify everything looks good, we can start our data routing and confirm that this is good and run this job. Now, after you click run, we still need to get our data into this particular task. So we'll go back to our data set tab. We'll select all of our units, and then we'll go ahead and send them to our job, which is the A/B evaluation on live model endpoints. And we'll go ahead and click send. Now that we've launched this task, it should have live units be in a running state. So here you can see I have 5 units. They're all in judgeable state, which means they're ready for work. An internal contributor would enter the link through their email, but for the purposes of this demo, we'll go ahead and we'll just go directly into the link from here. So this is another way that you can access this task or share access to this task. So if we go ahead and go to this, we will then be welcomed to a work page where, again, we'll see what we saw in the preview. Here I can see my preceded prompt. Go ahead and send this. Again, wait for the models to respond. These are live endpoints, so the duration of the response is going to be dependent on the compute power and response time of each model. We'll also wait until we get both model responses back so that, again, we're not introducing bias from like a speed of response perspective. So one of those models could have been faster, but to the end user, we kind of normalize that so it's not part of the equation when making the decision. So again, I'm going to review these 2 responses, select which one I think is best. Here we have some additional noise around I don't have enough context, while this first one kind of just answers my question. So I'm going to go ahead and select this one here and then click submit. And I'll get the next unit here as well. And if there was additional questions I maybe wanted to ask about these responses, generally speaking, this is just pure A/B evaluation, but our tool does allow you to, ask additional questions about each of those response, which could be relevance, accuracy of the response, tonality alignment of that response, and any other mix of questions that you may want to evaluate against the response itself. Cool. And then last thing to quickly show is, once I have some of those judgments existing on there, I'll see the kind of submitted units here. I'll be able to look at the answers that were created or selected by clicking into the unit view. And of course, you can export this data and download it for further processing wherever it needs to go. Thank you for the time. And if there's additional questions or deeper dives anybody wanted to take, please reach out to the app and team and your contacts here at the company. We're happy to do a more in-depth demo around your specific use case.